All right, what's going on, people? Guess what we're doing? We're watching not Michael Saylor. Well, actually, this is related to Michael Saylor more than anything. So Tim Smith let me know about a video that just came out, that came down the pike, and here it is. It's better than yield max ETFs. Hold on, let me. I don't know why I sound like Michael Saylor. We're talking about micro-penis strategies. Whoa. This is from a channel called Passive Income Investing. The title of this video is Better Than Yield Max MSTY MST ETF Review. MST, our strategy, plus leverage, plus weekly income. I'm curious about this. I'm curious about this in the sense that, look, you guys all know that I'm not a big Bitcoin guy. I think that Micro-Penis Strategies is a pretty shitty company. I don't know exactly what they're all about. I don't know if they're like some investment firm, or I don't even know what their strategies are all about, to be honest, if we're going to be quite frank. All I know is that Michael Saylor is a little too in love with Bitcoin. And it's a little disturbing. And we're not watching porn, just to let you guys know. We should be, though. Oh, put it inside me. All right. You guys ready for some micro-penis strategies? I think I am. All right. Let's watch the video.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, your number one source for income-oriented investing, and it's a very exciting day today because we finally have it. We finally have the first, as far as I could tell, leveraged covered call ETF in the US, and it's Defiance that comes out with it on MicroStrategy, or now Strategy. The stock symbol is MST. So this MST ETF focuses on MicroStrategy or strategy with leverage and weekly income. So you're gonna have 150 to 200% leverage.
Okay. So MST aims to deliver approximately 150% to 200% of MicroStrategy's daily price performance, capitalizing on its volatility and growth potential. Okay, cool. I mean, hey, look, if you can make money off the volatility, great. However they do it, don't know how they're going to do it. But will I be buying MST? Probably. I like actually adding things to the portfolio, so I may, not financial advice, but I might add it. I don't know. Let's see here.
This is reset daily, so it's very similar to their 2X. It's very popular in the US. It's really designed for day trading, for traders, where you have 2X, whatever, long or short. So this is 1.5X to 2X. I'm wondering exactly why this amount was chosen.
All right.
But it's leverage. It's not the classic leverage like they do in Canada, 25%. This is much higher than that. It's 25% is 1.25x. This is 1.5x to 2x. So it's higher leverage. It's reset daily. It's not borrowed money. They're doing it with swaps. If we look at the holdings here, you could see that there's a swap right here to give you daily leverage exposure to the MicroStrategy stock.
All right.
But this one also has, this is where it's different, finally, weekly income by using credit call spread. So it's a cover call strategy that does a spread, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Hold on. Let me make sure I understand this. So it does a cover call spread. So I'm assuming it does, when they say cover call spread, I think they may be saying they're writing several call options. Interesting. So supposedly, now the reason we're watching this is, by the way, I want to thank Tim Smith on this one. The reason we're watching this is because Tim Smith let me know that Passive Income Investing did an interview with Sylvia Jablonski. Now, I will admit, Sylvia's assistant, one of her assistants, has actually tried to get Sylvia back on the program. I have had such an inconsistent schedule in life that I just don't feel like I could keep any appointments. A lot of the things that I do on this show are very last minute. So I haven't even really responded to the emails. So Sylvia, in advance, I want to say I'm sorry about that. But, you know, I mean, at least she's able to go on shows that actually have more of a following. Here's the thing. Passive income investing, this guy has way more subscribers than I do, so she's better off promoting her financial products to this channel. Do I know if this is going to be a good ETF or not? I don't know, but I am curious to see this interview, though. And I figure one thing I do actually appreciate about Sylvia is that she does try to be transparent. I think she does. So the reason I'm doing a reaction video is because I haven't been able to have Sylvia on. I still want to, in some instances, always hear her point of view. So it's fun to watch these interviews, give my own take, and see what happens. So let's go from it.
So basically, you could actually see here the spread. Right, it's the same amount, 41.41. So what they're doing is they're selling a covered call at $410. So MicroStrategy right now is, I don't know, 380, 390 or something like that. So they're selling a call out of the money at 410. But they're also buying another call at a higher price. So you're selling at a call at one price, and you're buying a call at another price. Which obviously, if it's more out of the money. You see here that the strike price is 445, whereas the call that you sold is at 410. So you're getting a big premium for this. You're going to take, basically, right, you're getting your cover call premium, you're getting your income, but you're taking a portion of that income to actually buy another call at 445, just in case MicroStrategy, and I'm assuming this is going to be a weekly call spread. You see that the expiry here is the 9th of May. I'm filming this on the 5th. I think this just came out last week. So it seems to be like, well, they probably wrote the call on Thursday or Friday, probably Friday. So it seems to me like this is going to be a weekly call spread.
Okay, so they're doing, so weekly payouts, I think, is what we're getting at. I don't know, doing weekly options, though? I mean, in a weird way, you know what's funny? Doing weekly call options, writing weekly call options is not actually the worst idea in the world, especially if you do it weekly. Because the people who can write the call options and have such a short time horizon on it can take advantage of the negative volatility, the volatility overall. I don't know. This seems kind of interesting. It seems like an interesting concept, and I'd be more than happy to add it to my portfolio. Why not? Because, like, I don't know. I don't believe in micro-penis strategies. I think it's one of the worst companies out there. I don't believe in Bitcoin at all. I'm very anti-Bitcoin. That is for sure. But I am intrigued by what Sylvia has to say. She has a perspective that I don't. I'm very old school in my investing methodology. I do think covered calls are great. I'm just going to say that right now. Derivative income is fantastic. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I got all the answers on it. But I do like having a super diversified portfolio. And I do have covered call ETFs in my portfolio. I only buy them like a share at a time. I'll buy like a share of XYLD, QYLD. I do have some Defiance ETFs in my portfolio as well. I forgot about that. I do like the Defiance ETFs, though. I think they're pretty decent. Am I going to go all in on these types of investment vessels? No. But I will add them to my portfolio, one share at a time. I'll add a share of this one. And like the Yield Max ETFs are a great example. I got one share of each Yield Max ETF, and that, it brings in some money, surprisingly, shockingly, through the synthetic covered call methods, which I don't know how great of an idea synthetic covered calls are, but I don't know. As long as I get a little extra dividend income, I guess I don't mind. But yeah, I don't make my entire portfolio covered call ETFs. It's a bad idea. Just want to say that right now. Let's keep watching, though.
So they're going to sell a call at one price, get a premium, big premium, take a portion of that premium, and buy a call by the same amount. Here you see 41, a little bit higher, which means in case MicroStrategy within that week blows up, it goes to 450, 460, 470, this call is going to be good to have, right? You'll win with this call. So you're kind of, by doing a covered call spread, everyone, you're kind of capping your upside cap. Hopefully that makes sense. So when you're writing a covered call on something, you're capping your upside. But when you're buying a call at a higher price, you're kind of limiting your upside cap. Hopefully that makes sense. This is something pretty popular, and basically, you know,
honestly, that's not the worst idea in the world. I see what he's saying. You write the call contract and you sell it out to the market, right? And then you buy a call contract that is a little more out of the money. Like what? So micro penis strategies. I don't know what micro penis strategies current price is. Let me take a look. Micro penis. Oh no, I shouldn't look up micro penis. Let's look up MicroStrategy stock price. And okay, so micro penis strategies currently last market price was $416. These options contracts, let's see. One of them was written at the money. It looks like for 410. Okay. Close to at the money. That's close enough to at the money in this instance. You wrote a contract, you sold it, strike price 410. Okay. That's fair. And then you bought a call option out there in the market that was set to a price of 445 of the strike price. But the beauty about buying this is that you could pay a lesser premium. However, I don't know. Here's the risk I see. You're anticipating massive volatility with micro penis strategies by doing this. You do get the derivative income. And I will say, if micro penis strategies explodes in a week, right, then you do have the opportunity. You do have some sort of opportunity to maybe sell off the call contract that you bought at a higher premium price. But where's the expiration date for this? Did they set the expiration for the 9th? Let's see. I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're doing all these as weekly ones. I understand why. I understand why they're buying the call contract at a higher strike price, because obviously you're not going to have to pay that much of a premium. There's a little bit of a risk, though. I think the reason they do that is just so that way they can kind of hedge against some form of the risk, which in a lot of ways is kind of smart. I mean, you still take home some sort of profit either way from the derivative income. It's an interesting strategy, and I'd have to look more into it for sure. I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm an expert. No, I'm not an expert in any way on that one. But let's keep watching. Let's keep rolling. Rolling. They keep rolling.
Buy T ETFs and QQQT ETFs. That's exactly what they do. I know SPY-I does that as well. They'll typically sell a cover call and maybe they'll buy another call.
All right, before we watch the rest of the interview, hold on. I actually do want to fill up on a little more apple juice. I need my apple juice tonight. All right.
At a higher price. So basically, you could say it's a cover call strategy on a leveraged 1.5x to 2x daily MicroStrategy stocks, which is, basically Bitcoin on fire, Bitcoin leverage. So another cool thing, it's going to have weekly distributions. Obviously, this is brand new. I'm filming this on the 5th. And
weekly distributions.
Distributions have not been declared yet. And I'm wondering exactly how much. I'm sure it's going to be super high yield, everyone. I'm not sure exactly what kind of yield they're targeting, but very interesting ETF. So I do have a couple of questions about the leverage and the yield that they're targeting.
So I think this is where he gets Sylvia on the screen. I realized I didn't get the chat up. Hold on, I gotta get the chat up. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm neglecting the chat window. I'm neglecting the chat window, and I need to go into the settings and suck my own penis. Oh. Hold on, folks. I'll get back to the video here in a second. Whoa. Kind in a bedroom, man. Ra, 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 ma, ma. Ga, ooh la la. Ga, ga, ooh la la. Want your bad romance. What the hell, man? Oh, yeah! 'Cause I'm gonna cure. Micro penis strategies. What the hell? Okay, I guess I won't be able to get the chat up at the moment. Hold on. Well, okay, guys, I don't know how to get the chat up clearly, so guess we'll skip that side of this. Let's say this. Yeah, fuck it. Technical difficulties. I won't be able to get the chat up. That's okay. I mean, I can see the chat. I'm just saying I can't actually display what you guys are wanting to say. I mean, you guys, everybody will be able to see it in the chat. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
I wish we could talk to the CEO, Sylvia Jablonski, but why don't we just talk to her right now? Hey everyone, I'm back with Sylvia Jablonski, CEO of Defiance ETFs. How's it going, Sylvia?
It's going great. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. It's been a while. Good to have you back. And today I want to talk to you about MST. This is very interesting to me. This is the Defiance Leverage Long Plus Income.
So, as you all know, I'm not a big fan of Michael Saylor. He's a little too gay for Bitcoin for my liking, but you know, to each his own. It's still a Ponzi scheme. It's possible that MicroStrategy actually has other investments and other things that it does as a company, but we'll see what Sylvia's doing with this. Hopefully, there's a way to get some extra money off of the volatility of the price of MicroStrategy, because just like Bitcoin, I often wonder if MicroStrategy has intrinsic value. Anyway, let's begin.
MSTR ETF. So I'll just share my screen real quick here so people could see what we're actually talking about. Here's the stock symbol, here's the ETF itself. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as I could tell anyway, this seems to me like on the US side, because in Canada we have plenty of these, the first leveraged and income or leveraged and covered call style ETF. And you're basically, this holds MicroStrategy stock, which is kind of like a leveraged play on Bitcoin, if you will. So tell me a little bit about this ETF. How did you guys come up with the construction of this one here?
Sure. Well, I think just listening to our investors and retail investors out there, it seems like the three most popular things in the market right now for a lot of traders anyway are...
I will say this is the downfall of Defiance ETFs. Is they listen to the retail investor a little too much. Now, here's the thing. The retail investor thinks Bitcoin is an investment. They don't know any better. sometimes you have to hear what they have to say, right? But if what some of the retail investor community has to say is fucking stupid, you just have to ignore them and just not do anything. Now, you could create ETFs that bet against the stupid shit that retail investors seem to cream over, like failing companies like GameStop or BlackBerry or... Oh, BlackBerry's not bad. I'll give BlackBerry a pass. They're still at least a software security company at this point. You name it. I don't know. I'm a little enraged. Because as much as I'm okay with Defiance ETFs, I like the fact that I get a little income from those ETFs and I have them in my portfolio. I only own about a share at a time. I'm a one share at a time kind of guy. My goal is to have the most diversified portfolio of all time. That includes a diversification of ETFs, individual stocks, you name it. One share of just about everything is really the goal.
Our leverage, so enhancing your exposure to a particular name that you might like to trade.
Yeah.
Anything crypto related, so Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, the various stocks that correlate to and track and are related to crypto, Bitcoin, and things like this. And
Micropenis
then
strategies.
Income, right? And investors love these different funds that pay out income, and so we thought, why not marry the best of everything and create a product, right? So it's just what investors have been asking for. It's leverage with income from the covered call strategy on top of it.
Okay, perfect. And tell me a little bit about it. So it's pretty easy to, it holds MicroStrategy, or it has exposure to MicroStrategy. That's not rocket science here. But one thing I wanted to ask you about, and I know you guys have plenty of leveraged 2x ETFs, on a bunch of single stocks, including an MSTR one as well. You have a long and a short MSTX, the long one. These are 2x reset daily. They're pretty much designed for traders, I would say.
Yeah.
But
Oh, my hand is stuck in the goldfish step, bro. Oh shit.
2x. So
right.
I think it's a little bit less. It's also daily. It's also a reset daily. So tell me why you guys decided to lower the leverage a little bit on this income one.
So it's not so much about lower leverage. It's just that with a stock like MicroStrategy, right? Like we will aim to get 200% of exposure, 2x exposure, but you also have the credit spreads and the covered call on half of the position, right? And so the goal is just to let investors know that when you have a MicroStrategy ETF that's 2x leverage, like we're going to get as close as we possibly can to 2x, but it could drift between 150 and 200 essentially. So it's, if you kind of look at the other MicroStrategy ETFs out there, our other one has kind of that same point out there for investors, right? Like we seek 2x exposure on a daily basis. Most days we get it, but these funds can deviate from the leverage target. So it's just kind of clearing up that, there could be a day where you're not at 2x, right? Or you could be between 150 and 200.
Okay, fair enough. And you're not borrowing money. This is like using swaps. And how are you getting this leverage? Maybe that would better.
Yeah, sure. So it's similar to our other ETF, our MSTX ETF. So in order to get the leverage exposure, we use either swap, we can use an equity position in MSTR itself, or we can use options essentially to gain exposure to the underlying index. And then on top of that, on 50% of the position, we're essentially selling covered calls, or doing the credit spreads to generate the actual income that you'll receive on this fund. So it's just two things, like so.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it all out with you guys. Some of these instruments can get complicated, but I think overall they are simple. I think they just seem complicated on the surface. Cash. So they really just kind of, let's see, call option, call option here. Huh. It's I think I see what they're doing. Maybe. It's still a little complicated, and we still might need to hear them out a little bit. I'm still deciphering with you guys what's going on. It seems kind of similar, though, to the yield max ETFs, just a tinged, but I think they do things a little bit differently. Because with the yield max ETFs, they're using synthetic covered calls where they buy like puts and calls separately. I don't know. I will say this, just to let you guys know, you don't actually have to have covered call ETFs in your portfolio to be a good investor. I just want to make that very clear. But here's the deal. I think that you don't want to riddle your portfolio with covered call ETFs, right? You want to have them. And I think that like what Tim is doing, for instance, now my boy Tim is actually kind of smart on this because he has an ETF that gives him it's an ETF that still has its growth potential, has the ability to grow and appreciate in share price because it's not totally doing covered calls on every single holding that's in there. So that's smart. But this is a little bit different, obviously. This is something you can add to your portfolio, but don't make it the entirety of your portfolio is what I'm trying to. Don't make it the entirety. If you're going to, I'm very spread out with my covered call ETFs. I got like I said, I got XYLD, I got QYLD, I got all the crazy ones, the JEPI, blah, blah, blah. You name it. Anyways, let's continue.
Leverage is basically, and it's the same with most levered ETFs. It's swap, equity, cash options, and then income is options.
Okay, you said something very interesting. You're doing covered calls on 50% of the position. So would you say that this is not a, yield max is like 100%, for example, right? They're writing it on the whole portfolio.
It's interesting they mentioned yield max because he's saying that this is doing. They're doing covered. They're doing writing call options on 50% of the holding, but not the whole holding. Interesting. So 50% of the MicroStrategy that they own is used as collateral for this call option. That's very interesting. Well, whereas the other 50% just kind of does its thing. Interesting, because he was saying yield max does a full 100%. Right? But they're synthetic covered calls. I don't know if this is a synthetic covered call. This is where it gets interesting. And I'm getting curious. By the way, my bussy is moist as shit right now. I'm just going to say that right now. I know it's a little graphic for some of you. Give me 1 second, though. Hold on. Oh my god. I might be able to show the chat, by the way. Hold on. I think I did it, you guys. I can show the chat again. Make the chat great again. Oh, Jesus. Make America great again. Come on, man. Make America great again. Make Canada great again. Make my mussy great again. There we go. Finally. My mussy can become the bussy. Let's see. Philippines says, I subscribed to your video. Thank you. Mwah! I appreciate you from the Philippines. Mike GGG says, Jesus the Messiah coming soon. Sister become Muslim. All right. Whatever, brony brother. Let's keep going. Also, I want to make sure you guys like the video and please subscribe to the channel. All right, my mussy is the bussy, and I don't know why. I'm that kind of guy. Let's roll.
So this is 100% too, because it's 200. It's 2x, right? So you have 200%, and on 100% of the MSTR position, you're doing the covered call strategy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about the covered call strategy. This is a spread, and you actually see a spread right here, where basically you're selling a covered call at one price. So in this case, it's 410. This seems to be like a week. Is this a weekly thing you're doing, a weekly spread?
Yeah, I mean, it could vary, right? We kind of have whatever we need in the toolbox. The goal is basically that you're going to get the type of income from the fund that you see in line with?
So I'm going to just say this right now. I do see one problem with this. I think a week is too short of a time frame in the world of options. I think doing a monthly covered call strategy is actually okay. I think it's smart. I think weekly, though, feels a little crazy to me, right? I think it should be bi-weekly. If you're going to go on the weekly basis, don't do 1 week. Don't do a dividend every week. I feel like that's just, I'm not feeling that personally. I mean, I'm willing to get into this, by the way. I'm willing to have this in my portfolio, not a whole bunch of it. I'll probably buy like one share and I'll just call it a day, right? But I don't know how much I trust it. I think Sylvia's on the right track with it, but I'm not too sure how I'm feeling about some of it. That's why with some of these products, you kind of have to keep just one share, in my opinion, in the portfolio. That one frog girl says hello. Thank you, that one frog girl. I appreciate it. Well, welcome back. I remember you from one of the last videos. But yeah, I think it should be bi-weekly and not weekly. If you guys want my honest opinion, that's my honest opinion here. Let's keep going.
The IV, or the volatility of the underlying name, right? So if MSTR is 80, you're pretty much going to try to capture all of the volatility. And there's different ways we could do it. There's, kind of flex, there's weekly, there's, certain amount of days and whatnot. But the goal is essentially to generate that income and capture the upside performance. So, when you think about the different products that are out there that pay income on this particular name, they do one thing, right? They sell covered calls on the underlying asset itself. Here you're getting the 2x leverage, or up to 2x.
Hold on. All right.
Leverage on MSTR, plus you're getting 100% of the income, plus you're getting whatever kinds of gains that could be generated within the portfolio, whether it's through swap or options trading as well. So there's kind of different ways that you get paid on this.
Interesting. So yeah, I could see this, and this pays weekly. This is a weekly payer. Obviously, the first distribution hasn't been declared yet. We're filming this, by the way, on the 5th of May. I'm assuming it's going to be, the first one's going to be declared this week and paid out Friday. Are you going to have Friday as the pay days?
So we will announce that shortly. So I can't pre-announce that yet, but
right. Okay, sounds good. It'll probably be out by the time the video comes out, so we'll be able to see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're capturing as much upside as possible. Obviously, with the covered calls, you're capping some of that upside, but with that leverage, you're getting more upside.
Getting more of it.
So
exactly.
Would you say that this ETF in particular, MST, for example, versus your MSTX, is this more designed, in your opinion, for like a long-term buy and hold income investor versus the other one, which is more for trading, like day trading and things like that?
Yeah, so I think it's a bit of a hybrid, right? Because with this, you have, on the upside, you're going to gather the majority of the upside performance on the index from the leverage fund, and you're going to gather the income. On the downside, like you can kind of see what happened the other day, or happened actually even this morning, right? Like MSTX was down at the open about 9.6-ish or so. This one was about, 8.5, and, versus Mr., which was down, whatever, 3 or 4. So that income actually buffers the downside on the ETF, so it's somewhere in the middle, but it's still a leverage fund. So what we say is that this is for investors that are, kind of tactical. They're looking at their portfolios every day, but they can make a decision every day in terms of, directionally, what do they think is going to happen with MSTR, and, essentially hold it for the appropriate time period, while monitoring it daily. So yeah, you still have decay because it's a leverage fund. So if you have range volatility, if it's choppy, you're going to see that decay. On the other side, on the other hand, you're going to get a lot of income in that environment, right? Because volatility is higher. If it's trending upward.
Hold on, I'm looking at MST real quick in Robinhood. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm just going to read the about thing on here. MST is an actively managed fund that provides 1.5x to 2x leverage exposure to the daily share price movement of the MicroStrategy Incorporated. Less fees and expenses. The fund uses credit call spreads to generate income. The fund seeks long-term capital appreciation while also aiming for regular cash distributions. So it does sound like more of a 50-50 split. It doesn't feel like a yield max ETF. It feels more like kind of a half and half. Half of it call options. Half of it just appreciates regularly over time. Interesting. And you get the derivative income. And there are enough price swings with MicroStrategies to be able to profit off of that volatility.
That's kind of a great situation, right? Because then you're going to get the compounding, the leverage, and the income. And if it's, down, you'll lose because it's a leverage fund, but you will be down less than you would on the straight 2x fund because of the income. So,
right. Like it says here, right? It's potential buffer against declines, like you just said.
Yeah.
That's because of the call spread. That's because of the income.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Perfect. So, technically speaking, MST has less risk than the MSTX, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So MSTR is kind of, although, when you're talking about crypto, it's hard to say less risk, right? Because I think a baseline is kind of a volatile asset, right? But I think it's like, MSTR is, mild and MST.
It would be so tough to have her on this channel for this particular product. Like, I do like a lot of the other products that she has. I just am this channel is so anti-Bitcoin that it would be very tough. I mean, it's a fascinating thing. I'm more than happy, by the way, to add this to my portfolio. I love adding anything that's MicroStrategy related if it's a small cost. I'm willing to bite the bullet if I'm wrong on it, but who knows? Maybe it's a good product. Maybe it's a shit product. If the distributions are nice enough, I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens, but it's I'm just glad I bet against Bitcoin, though. I think at the end of the day, that's really my big thing is I got 3 ETFs that allow me to swing trade my portfolio, which is kind of nice. I mean, maybe they'll... maybe I should create my own ETF, I'm starting to think. You know what I mean? Because Meet Kevin created his own ETF, right? Well, why don't I create the Garza method, where I just hold a bunch of fucking ETFs, right? 80% of them, 80% of the ETFs and single stocks that I own just sit there. They just sit there. They don't do anything. And the rest of the money that comes from to the fund is done through swing trading of 20% of the portfolio, which is 3 ETFs. I could turn my portfolio into a literal ETF if I really wanted to. I wouldn't be that irresponsible, though. Or would I? That's the question. It's possible I would. But let's take a gander. Let's keep on keeping on.
Is a little bit spicier, and then MSTX is hot sauce, right? So.
Hot sauce, yeah. Okay, perfect. So yeah, if you're a big Michael Saylor fan, if you believe in Bitcoin, that's going to go up in long term. This could be one with some
Okay, so I don't believe in Bitcoin. I don't believe in Michael Saylor. But I will say, having this in my portfolio, if I am wrong about Bitcoin, which I doubt I'm wrong, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It could appreciate, it could do its thing. I don't really know. But MicroStrategies, dude, I'm all about it. And I'm happy to bet against Bitcoin in many ways. I will happily bet against whatever the hell. Anybody who tells me to get into Bitcoin, I know it's worth betting against because it's stupid. I have become the anti-crypto channel. Like I am people's go-to for this shit. It's a hard burden to bear. No, not really. But let's keep watching.
It could be pretty spicy because you have leverage, but you also have that income.
Exactly.
Just to reiterate, if MicroStrategy's you're trying to capture the same volatility as the stock itself. So if
Yeah.
MicroStrategy's vol is 80, this one should be, let's just say it's 80 for the whole year. Technically,
Yeah.
this should have like 80% yield for the year, approximately.
Yeah, it could have more too, right? Because you have leverage, right? So and then you have like swap trading and options trading and things like that. So there are these embedded gains that happen within levered ETFs as you trade them. Like sometimes they, they're paying out these kind of distributions at the end of the year from trading gains and options trading and things like that. So it could be higher, it could be 80, but it should be in line with whatever the volatility is of Mr. MSTR.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're a long-term investor, you could just turn the drip on, reinvest those dividends, and it's kind of like MSTR growth style, and you're just trying to grow with
Like
MSTR.
high growth. Yeah, exactly.
So MSTR, hold on, wait a minute. So there's two of these. So there's MSTR. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So there, MSTR is the official. That's actually MicroStrategies. It's Micro Penis Strategies. MST is the Micro Penis Strategy ETF. MST stock. It's not what I'm really looking for. Anyway, I see what's happening. So if people want to own for the long term, they could technically own MSTR for the long term, and they can own MST on the side. I don't know. I still think it's all a big Ponzi scheme. And look, Bitcoin might clickcoin, dude. Hey, it could continue to go up. I think it's stupid, by the way. Not promoting this product, but I am fascinated by it because, like I said, I bet against Bitcoin very heavily. So me getting into MST might not be the worst thing in the world. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Exactly.
You're getting that compound interest. Well, this is interesting, Sylvia. I have to admit, as soon as I saw this, I emailed you, and it was over the weekend, and I just want to tell my audience, you've been really gracious. You emailed me back right away, and like, yeah, let's talk Monday about it, and here we are. So I want
Yeah.
to thank you for that.
I'll also tell your audience that you've been talking about this idea forever. So we give you
Yes.
lots of credit for that too. It's
Oh,
something that,
thank you. I
you
appreciate
brought
it.
up from the beginning. So
Yeah, because we have these in Canada already for in a
yeah.
while, but not this much leverage. They do like 1.25x.
Right, yeah.
And they literally borrow the money. This one is a bit different. It's much higher. You're using like swaps with the leverage. It's reset daily also. It's not like the classic leverage, so it really adds more fuel to that fire. But I like the weekly payouts. I think weekly payouts are always cool. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
let's admit it, right? If you're an income investor. So this is definitely super interesting. If this takes off, are you thinking of maybe doing something similar like this with a bit of leverage on maybe like an S&P 500 or other stocks, or you're just gonna wait and see? I know you can't talk about future products, but
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
Our wheels are always turning.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I think if it's something that investors want, it's something that we would
Honestly, I think doing this type of strategy, this type of covered call strategy on like an index would be pretty fun. I'll give you an example. Like he was mentioning the S&P 500. I would love to see some sort of wacky, interesting covered call like call option strategy of some kind with an S&P 500 that would be. I don't know how that would be implemented. I would love to experiment though. I love it. You know me. I'm the ultimate experimenter when it comes to because I've tried a few interesting call option procedures just for fun. I experimented on some penny stocks because the call options for those are usually pretty small. Experimented with doing some interesting call strategies, put strategies as well. Played both sides. It doesn't always work though. Sometimes the premiums don't really always offset each other, so it's not exactly the best idea in the world. But yeah, there's interesting ways to do this. A lot of interesting ways, and more power to them for being very creative. That's the one thing I will say about. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Defiance ETFs, I think that they have some oddball ETFs that I'm not a big fan of, and I think they listen to the retail investor perhaps a little too much. I may be a retail investor, but I don't think like one. I don't plan on it. In fact, I'm usually betting against the retail investor, if anything. I'm usually betting, thinking that it's bullshit. So we'll see, though. We'll see. All right, let's continue on.
probably look at.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm definitely going to consider this one. I mean, most of my investments personally here, you know, you don't know about this. It's not probably not interesting to you, but my audience knows that I invest mostly in Canadian stocks
Yes.
because of tax purposes. But I do have a small retirement account left, and I think I'll probably try MST out a little bit for a few weeks, see how that compounding makes me feel. I know it's going to be just a little bit more, like you said, spicy. I kind of
Yeah.
like that word. But hey, if you know Bitcoin starts breaking out, MicroStrategy is going to break out, and this is really going to break out. So I mean,
Yeah, and you got the
that's what
income.
leverage does, right?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Exactly
Sylvia, I
right.
know you're a very busy woman, so I'll let you go. I appreciate your time and
Thank you.
joining
Thank you for
this.
having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and hopefully you'll come back again soon.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ah, good job. You know, good job. Honestly, like, I will say that's the one thing I do love about Sylvia. She was gracious enough to come onto my show. She was nice enough to come onto this crazy show. And for that, I'm still forever grateful, by the way. I think it's awesome. I don't know. I just, I mean, I'm going to add it to my portfolio anyway because I have a very what the hell attitude. You know, I'm like, what the hell? Why not? I'll add it. Fuck it. Worst case scenario, it's only like $23 a share. If it goes to zero, I'm not going to cry over it, to be honest. I've lost $23 doing other stupid things in my life, and my portfolio is well diversified, so it ain't going to break the portfolio by adding MST, at least a share to it. So I'm not financial advice by any means, but it's interesting. I think it's something for me to consider. I don't know. I'm still a little on the fence. I love Sylvia, though. I think she's got a very positive attitude. I will say this about her, though. It was an honor to have her on my show the one time. I think it was... can't remember when exactly it was I had her on the show. I'll have to look at the date of the interview, but really fun. Like, I'm going to say this right now. Really was a good time. She seems to do very good in these interviews. I think it's because I think she feels more comfortable talking to people like myself or people like passive income investing, because I think when she comes onto those shows, she knows that she doesn't have to deal with like too much of like, you know, like there's not a lot of kissassery that goes on these shows, and we're really trying to get to the truth, and I think she respects that and sees that, and it's cool. So I respect her a lot. I think that a lot of the products that Defiance has, would I add personally? I mean, sure, why not? I'll add a share of just about anything. Do I know how good some of it is? Do I know if the strategy is worth implementing in real life? It looks interesting on paper. We'll see what it looks like in practice. I mean, you can never truly predict what direction anything will go, for the most part. I mean, in the long run, you can kind of determine like how the market's going to go for the most part, the whole totality of the market, at least in a big old lump sum. But it's interesting. Anyway, I could go on and on about those crazy sort of philosophies. But okay, this is getting out of hand. Did you see that thumbnail? It is Michael Saylor dressed as like a Roman soldier or some sort of gladiator. That makes me angry. Michael Saylor is the bane of my existence. No, I'm just kidding. Michael Saylor is very frustrating, though, and the thing that frustrates me the most about him is just how arrogant he is about Bitcoin. He's so arrogant about Bitcoin. And look, granted, I'm arrogant about about being against Bitcoin, right? I think I'm so correct in my position of it having zero intrinsic value. I really do. I believe wholeheartedly in my heart of hearts. And look, I could be wrong. I will be gracious enough to admit there is some possibility that maybe there's something I don't see here, right? I just doubt it. And that's Michael Saylor and I, maybe we're two Michaels from a different universe. But no, the thing about Saylor is this, man. I think he's great in the sense that he's a very intelligent man, But it's really disturbing, this trend that I see of intelligent people who I consider intelligent tell me that something stupid is smart. Like Robert Kiyosaki is a great example of this. He is a huge Bitcoin advocate. He loves Bitcoin. And he tries to convince every single person that, oh, Bitcoin is the new gold. It's digital gold and blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. We all know it. We all know that Bitcoin is not even comparable to gold. It's not in the same universe. Gold is way better, all right? Let's see. Big Tito says, rate Kanye West's new album, HH. Whoa, dude, Kanye's got a new album? I'm a little out of the loop, man. I don't really listen to a lot of the R&B music, but hell yeah, man, if Kanye's got a new album, that's pretty tight. Go Kanye. I'm so out of the loop, man. I don't know. I prefer to be out of the loop. I think some of the stuff that most people focus on is fucking stupid. Yeah, Google it. All right, let's see here. Kanye new album. Kanye new album. Okay. So, Kanye's new album. Twelfth. 12th. Donda 2. What is Donda? Use HH. That's the album title. Just dropped a few days ago. Yeah, man. I mean, go Kanye. I'm not really the biggest. I was never really like a fan of his music or anything. I think he's interesting. I mean, go yay. But whatever. I don't know. I've never been that big of a Kanye fan. I'm not really a big rap guy or hip hop. I think most hip hop and rap sucks. Just never have been. I prefer my angry white guy music. If we're going to be honest, I prefer my angry white guy music. And I'm not apologetic about that at all. I think it's great. I have zero white guilt. Like, that's the one thing that's great about being part Mexican, is that I don't suffer from the same level of white guilt that most white people do. I just don't. I really don't care. I don't feel bad about shit. I mean, I feel bad about things that if I actually did something wrong, but I've got no problem being white. I suffer no white guilt. I just don't. I don't really give a shit. But yeah, maybe I'll listen to it. Maybe not. I don't know. I just don't want Ye to give me a copyright strike, though. I feel like Ye might do that to me. Oh, yeah. Looking at my credit score, huh? I don't really give that. I kind of give a shit about my credit score only because it can get me cheaper car insurance. That's about the extent of it, though. Other than that, I just basically sign up for credit cards and then I just pay them off as quickly as every 2 weeks. I use the sign up bonus to my advantage because that's just the smart thing to do. That's interesting. Amazon Prime Visa. Let's see. I gotta admit, they do have a really cool credit card for Amazon, by the way. Which, honestly, I don't really like ordering things from Amazon. I thought about, well, it depends. It depends. Oh, I can get a 43% off discount. This is cool. So what's my credit? My credit score's looking kind of okay. I got to good. Oh, it was an excellent. Damn it. Well, that's okay. It's because I opened up another credit card recently. I pay it, like I said, I pay it off. They're all $0 annual fee anyway. I gotta cool my roll. I just love those sign-up bonuses for credit cards, dude. You can get free money. And then basically, now credit cards, by the way, are not free money. Just want to make that very clear to everybody. What I do is I get a new credit card, and then I use it for whatever I need to use it for. If I got to get groceries, I get groceries. And then once I hit the $500 mark by the end of like 2 months or whatever amount the amount is for the sign-up bonus, I'll get like $150 or $200 for the sign-up bonus. It's fucking great. The odd part, the funny thing is most of those banks don't make any money from me. In fact, if anything, a lot of the credit card companies, depending on the situation, make a net negative from me. I am a poison to the credit card companies. I'm what they don't want. I'm actually good at paying off my shit very early. I pay off every single credit card balance every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. That's a smart thing to do. Yeah. And fuck it, why not? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that I'm a poison to society because of the way I use credit cards? Actually, it's funny. I do the exact opposite of what my parents taught me how to use a credit card. My parents actually said that sometimes it's okay to hold a balance on a credit card. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's fucking stupid. I was like, that's dumb. The interest rates are like 20%, 25%, 30%, depending on the person. It's really stupid. I think holding a balance on a credit card is probably the worst thing that you could ever do. I choose not to go into debt, except for things that have low interest rates. Like, for instance, I needed a new car. I was able to get a very good car at a very good deal. Took the opportunity. Got some financing on it. Good deal. And most of my dividends actually pay for the car loan, so it's a win-win situation either way. My goal is actually to use my portfolio to pay off my car loan sooner rather than later, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, I thought about putting some money into now high yield savings. I don't believe in high yield savings, actually. I think it's stupid. People say it's playing it safe, but I think playing it safe is the stupidest fucking thing. Money is a waste of money. Cash is a waste of money. I know that statement doesn't make any sense. You're probably thinking, what the fuck is this idiot saying? What I'm trying to tell you is this, that I love investing. Saving my assets is more important than saving my money. Save your assets, not your money. That's probably the biggest lesson, the best lesson I ever learned. And that is the battle cry of this channel. Save your assets, not your money. In fact, let's look up a video that says save your assets, not your money. I love how people say save your money in these assets. By the way, I want to make it very clear. When you're purchasing stocks, bonds, gold, you're not putting your money into these things. Do you know what you're actually doing, by the way? You're actually trading your money for something that's actually valuable. You're trading your money for stocks. You're trading your money for gold at whatever price the market deems it at for whatever amount you got, right? You're trading your money. What I'm trying to get at is this. Your money, the cash that you hold in your pocket is worthless. It's not backed by anything. You can't trade it in for gold. You can't do anything real with it. So what do you do with it? Well, you invest it into things that are real. Stocks, gold, silver, any sort of commodity really. Bonds, real estate, you name it. Anything that the government can't print is actually a good investment. Cash is not a good investment because the government can print it. It's that simple. It is the simplest logic, but nobody wants to follow it. By the way, if somebody tells you that save your money in assets, it's actually the wrong expression. They need to say, no, trade your money for assets and then save those assets and don't save your money. Yep. Here, there's a video. There's an old video I did. Very proud of this video. I forgot about this video. This is a video of me.
Remember, folks, save your assets, not your money. I think saving your assets is way better. The moment you trade your assets for money, you're basically trading it for something worthless. Save your assets. Really important. Remember, folks, save your assets, not your money.
Truer words have never been spoken. I'm glad I said them. See, 5 assets rich people use instead of banks. Here's how to protect your assets from lawsuits. I think you could technically put your assets in like a LLC or something like that, limited liability corporation. So you could use, I don't know, like I guess you call it a shell corporation. I don't know how that works. Oh, 5 assets that should never.
Out there talking.
This is interesting. 5 assets that should never go into a living trust. So this person said vehicle, annuity, IRA, 401k, etc., life insurance. Is his name the trust is the beneficiary? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not going to watch the whole video, actually. It's like 7 minutes. I'm too lazy. Robert Kiyosaki, I used to have so much respect for this man. But once he started saying that, like, Bitcoin is better than gold or Bitcoin is comparable to gold or whatever, I lost all respect for the dude. I mean, I still respect him. That's an exaggeration because here's the thing. He still gives great financial education for the most part. But once he starts talking about the Bitcoin shit, I'm like, dude, please stop it. Just like the Michael Jordan meme. Stop. Get some help. Hold on. Actually.
Stop it. Get some help. 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 Stop it. Get some help.
Come on, Michael
Stop
Jordan.
It. Get some help. Stop 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 it.
Okay.
Get some help. Stop it.
All right.
Get some help. Stop it. 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 Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help. I want to try to master that.
Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help. Okay, I think I got it. Hold on. I think I got it. Hold on. Stop it. Get some help. Stop it.
Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Get some help. All right. Okay. I could listen to that fucking meme on loop. I just really. That one gets me, man. I don't know what it is. Anytime I hear that one, dude, I crack a smile on my face, dude. Original Stop It. Get some help. Anti-drug PSA. That's awesome, man. That's some old school Michael Jordan, man. I love it. It was fantastic. That was a good interview, though. Like I said, with Sylvia, and the passive income investing guy. Really cool. Really neat. What am I watching? What is this? Jesus. I don't know what's going on anymore, you guys. Oh, we got another
cryptos that everyone
no.
own. Here we go. Bitcoin, yes.
Ponzi scheme artist, by the way. Just want to let you know, this guy talks about fucking dog coins. He talks about all the crypto. This is an old man who is trying to grift you for your money. He puts out these fucking courses on how to day trade crypto. It's sick. It's disgusting. He's a degenerate gambler.
And oh, by the way, you don't have to buy an entire Bitcoin. You can buy $5 of Bitcoin if you want. Everyone should own Bitcoin. It is the 800 million pound gorilla of crypto. Ethereum is number 2. Everyone should own Ethereum. It is the biggest blockchain. It is the most deployed projects on it. It is synonymous with crypto. Number 3, you can insert a lot of them in here, but here was what I would say for number 3. Stay within the top 20. A list of these could be Cardano, Polkadot, XRP. If you want a community one, it could be Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, any of those.
This guy's awful, dude. This guy's awful. Do you see the shit he's promoting? This is why I tell you, stay away from guys like him. If he's in an ice cream truck and he starts telling you, hey, do you want some Shiba Inu ice cream? Do you want some Dogecoin ice cream? You just run away. It's the only logical thing. Let's finish this.
Well for the top 3 cryptos that anybody should own.
God, he's awful. Like, he is the worst. Like, dude, some of these guys, man, I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it, man. I try to understand it, but honestly, crypto is bullshit, and I think most people know. Subscribe right now. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got. What else can we react to real quick? Oh, this person thinks micro-penis strategy. Will micro-penis strategy hit $1 trillion in 2025? Oh, shit. I don't know about that. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. My boy Ty Lord says, Dad, I'm very mussy ready. My man, dude. You always got to keep that mussy ready, man. Always got to keep that mussy moist. Well, preferably dry. You got to keep your mussy bud. So, it's a way to do it. But my man, dude. My man. It's good to see Mr. Ty Lord on the chat. Got to hang out again soon, my man. I haven't hung out with Ty Lord in a bit. I gotta hang out with him pretty soon. I'm a little tired tonight. I gotta go to bed early tonight. I just haven't gotten a lot of sleep lately. Gotta get up early. Got a crazy Monday I gotta deal with, and then boom, once I'm done with Monday, I'm ready to roll. Let's see, but Dad, I'm very mussy ready. Aren't we all, man? If you're not mussy ready, what are you? Yes, sir, we do. But I do want to say, happy Mother's Day. I had some dinner over at my mom's place. Got to have Mother's Day with my mom and grandma. That was really cool. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and also Ty Lord. Let your mom and grandmother know I say happy Mother's Day. Let's see. No, it'll figure it. Absolutely. But yeah, dude. Yeah, it's all good either way. You know, shit happens when it happens. It's all good. But yeah, I've just been doing my thing. This is a creepy video. Look at this. They put like a human like face on this fucking robot. It's so creepy. Yes, sir, will do. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Just reacting to some random things. Let's see. Oh, this person's got like a crypto wallet. I guess this is some sort of advanced crypto wallet. I don't know. I feel like all this crypto shit is such bullshit. What else do we need to look at? Oh, whoa. We were lied to. How you can retire early with one Bitcoin decision. I don't know. You could bet against it because Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. Let's see. Yeah, I'll bet against it. $1 million per coin. Twitter founder reveals catalyst. Dude, Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, look, if it does, okay. Granted, fine. Let Bitcoin go to $1 million. It's still a Ponzi scheme one way or another. I will proudly bet against Bitcoin any day of the week. R55, the guy says, yo, man, what's up? All these people that say like Bitcoin's going to $1 million, it just blows my mind. Official Jesus Christ is your husband with you. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Anyway. Give me 1 second, folks. Oh, we got some good viewership today, man. I love it. Whenever it's Mussy Monday, man. It's always Mussy Monday somewhere. Jesus into the chat. Jesus just playing. Crypto tax. How to pay zero taxes on crypto gains in 2025. I don't know. Don't report them. Not just kidding. That's not tax advice, by the way. Everything that you hear is not real. But yeah, crypto tax. Ooh. I don't know. I just think that the best thing I could do is just bet against crypto, and then that's about it. Like I said, I got into Bitcoin a long time ago, and I never sold. My God, dude. What is going on, man? So Carl Jung said, nothing and nobody will ever hurt you again. Stop giving a fuck. Yeah. Sometimes it is easier to just kind of focus on whatever it is you're doing. Try to help as many people as you can. And I don't mean like people please. I mean like actually help people. If somebody needs food, give them food. It's simple as that, man. Simple principles right there. That's kind of how I live my life. If I can help somebody, if they really need something, I love that shit. So I think that's the best thing. I think don't give a hell about your image, but definitely do your best to be a legitimately helpful person and do the best you can. Got to do a reaction to how Creed would actually sound. So here's the thing, man. Whenever I do reactions to music, I get like little copyright strikes, so I don't want to risk it. So the only thing I really react to these days is random clips on like Twitter or something, or like random stupid little things on YouTube. But I think I'll react to one more video real quick. I can't. I'm afraid of, like I said, of the damn, what the fuck's that? The copyright strike bullshit. Bitcoin's really ridiculous. Not Bitcoin, Jesus. YouTube is really ridiculous. Interesting. Okay, let's look at my boy Kevin O'Leary. I do like Kevin O'Leary.
He's got millions of workers in factories. Right now, those products are sitting on ships floating in the ocean because nobody's going to buy them because they don't have a big enough economy to consume them. Only the U.S. can do that.
Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He's been hammering this home.
I do love me some Kevin O'Leary.
We played a clip a couple weeks ago of him talking about how the 124% that Trump wants on China, that's not good enough. He would go to 400%, and here he is pushing that even more.
No. Everybody knows the #1 destination for the world's capital, more than 50% of it is invested in the United States of America. 49% of all consumption is in the U.S. 26.1% of world GDP is the United States. It is still the #1 economy. And now if you're given the opportunity to invest in China or the United States, it's a no-brainer. Every dollar goes to the U.S. And so while the U.S. has the upper hand, and let's remember something, there's a time bomb here. For Trump, it's the midterm elections. But Xi's got a time bomb, too. He's got millions of workers in factories. Right now, those products are sitting on ships floating in the ocean because nobody's going to buy them because they don't have a big enough economy to consume them. Only the U.S. can do that. So we've got a little bit of a game here, a little game of chicken, because Xi only gets to stay in power if people have jobs and they can feed their families. He gets a vote every...
This is kind of wild now that I think about it. O'Leary's bringing up some points. These tariffs force China to renegotiate with us. Because the tariffs that China implements on us are kind of crazy. I can't remember the exact numbers, but they're not exactly friendly. And also, China's not exactly friendly to us either. They don't like us. And honestly, if we're going to be quite frank, I don't think we like China either. Because here's the thing. China and the United States, two totally separate cultures. China's more about the collective, whereas U.S. is about the individual. And look which country has done better over the years. I think you can say, without a doubt, the United States is economically better. Why is that? Because we don't believe in bullshit collectivist ideals. You may agree with that. You may disagree with that. I don't really care. That's what I believe. And
every
keep
day.
going.
If those factory workers have no jobs, they're going to be like a Frankenstein with torches up at the castle. It's going to be brutal, and he knows that. So let's have this dance. Let's go now. Let's settle this now. 400% tomorrow morning to absolutely lock down zero trade until we solve this.
He's really good. There's something, one of the things that I love about people that are out there telling the truth is when you can communicate it in a way that everyone understands. Like, it's really, really simple, guys. If we stop buying Chinese crap, all of the stuff that you have in your house that comes from China, much of which we used to make here, or we could just make in other countries, whatever, that we have fairer deals with. China needs us because if they have ships with stuff and all of the products ready to roll, those products have to be bought, otherwise they're screwed. And eventually, if those factories close in China, like our factories closed, then yes, the people with pitchforks running to the castle to be like, look at the monster you created. It's an economic Frankenstein. we don't have jobs anymore. They're not selling that crap in China. They're selling it to us at a premium. So we are now in a trade. We're in a trade war with Russia. But what happened over the last couple of days is that the market, the worldwide market, realized, oh, Trump laid out this tariff situation. 70 countries came in and said, let's negotiate. The markets go back up because everyone's like, okay, let's calm down. Let's breathe. It was just a negotiating ploy. Trump got exactly what he wants. And
That's wild, man. I mean, wild. Just wild, man. Yeah, it is a trade war, and it could throw Xi Jinping out of office. Hey, if there's enough people in China that get pissed at Xi Jinping, you know, there might be an uprising. Let's hope. Look, I think China needs a change. I think China needs a revolution. Country's a little too communist, a little too authoritarian, if I might say so. Xi Jinping, just another dictator in my book, at least based on what I see. Well, yeah, but it's definitely a trade war, Ty Lord, and I mean, who knows what the outcome's gonna be though? It's a little freaky, man. It's a little freaky, but it's interesting to see where it all goes. Absolutely. Universal Heart says, when SPX fall? I have no clue. What's SPX? Zero clue what SPX is, man. You got to be more specific about SPX. What is that? I could look it up, actually. Why am I'm a lazy cunt. SPX, what is that? Oh, it's the symbol for the S&P 500 index. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea it was SPX. That's funny. Never actually taken the time to look at the S&P 500's ticker symbol for the overall performance. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, man. I think in the long term, S&P 500 goes up because it's 500 of the best companies, and they usually appreciate in value because they're actually good companies. And the dollar depreciates in value, so it's kind of a win-win situation. I don't know. I still think that what's going to happen is S&P 500 is going to go up over time. You are a trader? I'm not I swing trade 20% of my portfolio, but I'm not a day trader, no. 80% of my portfolio is buy and hold. I buy and I hold 80% of my portfolio, and 20% of my portfolio, which consists of 3 specific ETFs, are what I swing trade, and that's about it. All right, what do you guys think about all this? Let's crypto my grifto. Let's look up some crypto channels. See what they're up to today. I'm actually very sad. This is somebody who So Alex Becker, I used to have I had a lot of respect for, actually, because he had some interesting takes on minimalism, and I think he's the biggest grifter of them all. It's sad that people who I once liked is just a total it's a gamble, man. Crypto is such a fucking grift. What has Alex Becker become, man? He's become the greatest. He's anybody's dog for a bone. And it's sad. How's it going? How's it, Garza? Oh, pretty good, Mr. Donaldson. Nice to see you, my man. Michael Donaldson in the house. Feeling sexy, rubbing those nips. How you doing, big dog? I'm not doing much. I had a good Mother's Day with my mom. My mom had a good Mother's Day. You know, because it was her day. You know, but I got a big box of chocolates for my mom and my grandma. And they were able to eat those, and it was a good day. Very good day.
Oh, baby. We are pumping hard. And being the 5'2" neckbeard piece of shit you are, you're here to see what's going to pump next. Which coins, which products are going to make the next move. And
oh, man, dude. Alex Becker, it saddens me that he became the biggest chode on YouTube. All because he basically became a crypto channel. That's one of the reasons why his channel went from, like, I don't know, 200, 400,000 subscribers all the way to like 1.58 million subscribers. So 150, so wait, 1,580,000 subscribers. My God. Let's watch.
I got good news for you. You've come to the right hole shithole part of YouTube. Because in this video, I'm going to give you the projects. I'm going to give you the coins that are going to because, oh, baby.
This is, I used to like this guy before he became the biggest crypto shill on YouTube. He's become the biggest piece of shit of all time. He's basically Michael Saylor. He's degenerate Michael. I mean, Michael Saylor's already degenerate, but this is like, it's like 10 times worse than Michael Saylor is what I'm trying. Yeah, it's Alex Becker. He's terrible.
If you look on chain right now, you look what BlackRock just bought, you look what the Trumps are buying, you see what Bank of America just started moving into, ooh, it's obvious what it's going to be at. Especially in this one part of the market, this one narrative, this one group of coins, everything is pointing on chain, the data is showing this is where the pop is going to be. And frankly, I'm just having to rush this the fuck up. I have to get it out here now, like the last few.
This is so gay. What the fuck is this? How he's fallen. You know, it's funny. He's an example of falling upward. This is falling upward right here. And the reason it's falling upward is this. He knows that all he has to do is become he knew this when he started becoming a crypto channel. This is the sad part about this. He knew that all he had to do was shill crypto and he would get millions of subscribers. You know what that really means? He gets millions of bucks because he gets all this attention, right? And so he's going to make all this money off these watch time ads. So it's pretty crazy.
This is extremely time sensitive. You saw the last few videos. I talked about AI. I talked about ETH. Look at what's going on in the market right now. It happened fast afterwards. We're saying the same exact setup again. But this time, we're getting into the...
Dude, just admit it's a fucking grift. Just admit it's a fucking gamble. Stop with this clownery, man. Stop. Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Just get some fucking help, man.
Dirty shit. Because there are still phenomenal entries on coins that are literally going to 10, 20, 30x from here if ETH keeps moving like it does. And I don't have any more time to hype it up. I don't have any more time to show off my luxury new studio for my mother's apartment, to brag about the unlimited chocolate milk, hot pockets, and Capri Sun supply my mother provides for me. I don't have time to do that. You know I'm very humble, so we just have to get right the f*** into it. Let's go. Like I stated, we're going to be getting into the coins in a specific narrative. Obviously.
Okay. That's actually kind of funny. That's actually kind of funny. His Google search is hot, sexy, big boob waifus. Okay, okay, I think crypto's dumb, and I think Alex Becker has stooped to the newest of lows. But this is actually funny. This right here is fucking hilarious. I think he's doing this intentionally. I wonder if he is trolling. He has to be trolling. This whole thing, him being a crypto channel, has to be a troll.
I'm going to show you the data. It's going to make sense here in a second. Like always, subscribe and like this video. Why? As soon as ETH hits 3,500, we're dropping my meme coin. Going to have a 10,000 person whitelist. People that have liked these videos, subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on Twitter. You're going to have preferential treatment on that whitelist. I can get AI, I can scrape all of it up. I can see who's actually engaged, who's part of the 5'2" neckbeard army. Hit like, hit subscribe. The incentives are huge.
I'm definitely gonna dislike this. Oh, I can't. I'm not signed in.
And trust me, we're going to get into the coins. I've been getting some really juicy, dirty ones that are still at massive low caps, but I'm going to sprinkle them throughout this video in subtle ways. They're going to be kind of hidden because we just can't come out and talk about them because, as you know, I am the most famous man in crypto, also the most humble, but I am also the most caring. As you know, it's talked about all over Twitter. I have a heart of gold, and so what I have to do right now is explain to you what is happening in the fundamentals so you can actually understand what the you're investing and gambling your life savings in. By the way, please read the disclaimer below. This is financial suicide. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I am filming in my mother's basement. This is not a reputable source of investing information. You're a fucking retard if you listen to me. On a serious note, this is totally gambling. You shouldn't be doing this. We're going to lose all of our money. We've already done it once this year.
Okay, that statement right there, I respect him. And I'm starting to wonder if he's actually doing this as theater. I think maybe I have a respect for Alex Becker again, if this is all for theater. Which, God, I hope it is. I hope it is. Please be for theater, man. Don't be serious. I hope he's not serious. Oh, man. My mussy will be so fucking dry. Even drier than it already is.
The top of this, I'm literally down like 30 million bucks. This is a very risky endeavor. The bet we're taking right here, it's not intelligent. Please read the disclaimer. That's the last I'm going to warn you to get your dick out of the pencil sharpener here. But I have to explain to you the fundamentals of what's happening right now so that you actually understand how to play this move, because it's going to happen fast. And if you...
Yeah, he did just call us tards. He did call us tards, and I love it. I think it's great. I think this is funny. I actually do think it's terrible and it's funny at the same time. Part of me is very upset about it, about him doing crypto shit, but at the same time, I think it may be more of a joke than anything, and I pray that it's a joke.
You get this. This is what's going to give you the edge over other people. Knowing the coins is easy. Every coin's going to move here. Knowing why the coins are moving, how to position yourself.
Okay, you guys, I got to admit, I really got to take a crap right now. I really got to take a crap. And I'm a bit tired at the moment. So for tonight, I'm going to call it quits tonight. I'm tired. I got to take a crap. I got to take a shower because I feel grimy. And yeah. But I'll catch you all later. Thank you guys for viewing. I've streamed long enough today. But see y'all tomorrow.